All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are multiple mediums in which you can access this content. Today is a good day. There's some pretty cool things that happen. So I'm already going to say thumbs up for this right now. Just do it. I'll wait. Da, 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 da. All right. Thank you. Thank you. And you might even want to share it. Okay. Now, one thing that happened, I think I'm the only one who's excited about it. But yeah. Okay. So what else am I supposed to say before we get into it? Thank you to everyone. I think I have new subscribers on Spotify too. It's hard to tell. I don't know. I have to learn Spotify. Hopefully, there won't be enough time for me to learn Spotify. But Spotify.com, there's a number there that looks different. So I think I have new subscribers. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And, hmm. I don't know. There's something I wanted to. Oh, at 11 minutes and 11 seconds, a little icon's going to pop up in the right hand corner on YouTube. And you could just tap that and you are subscribed. And that's it. Let's get into it. Oh, the link. Okay, so the blog. My favorite and suggested way is for you to view the content is to go to the blog because everything is on the blog. And I just thought about something, so hold on. I'm going to pause. All right, so I'm back. So, wherever you are watching or listening, look for a prompt of more info, intro, description, something of that nature. Click that. Another box will open or drop down, whatever, and there'll be a link directly to the blog, the free blog. You don't even have to put your email address in. Okay, and you are going to want to go to the blog today because you're going to want to see the parallel market rate has broken 1400. There it is right there. But even more interesting, well, for some of you, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, the very last article is the Aricur guy, Kagan's the third. What is his name? Colonel Miles B. Kagan's the third. And it's in English. And so I have it here embedded. Is that a word? Embedded? Well, I just said it. So and it's so weird. You don't get to hear the question being posed to him, but you get to hear his answer. So it gives a little light into what's going on. So again, so people who don't want to hear all the other articles that are posted, look for that link and then that you just scroll all the way down to the bottom and it says Aricur spokesperson calls for swift accountability and clear payment structure. Yeah. All right. So there you go. There's my not gift, but I know it's to me it's interesting to hear because when you read the articles, we're just getting Baghdad's side, right? Mostly Baghdad's side. But to hear him say in English his side, he represents 8 companies, I think. But anyway, yeah, so, all right. So now back to the star article, as I like to call it. So it's only one place. It was the closing. These are the closing rates. So the exchange rates of the US dollar against the Iraqi dinar edged lower in Baghdad and Erbil markets. So other places you can see 1409, 1403, but at one place they were buying 1397. So that's if you cross off to excuse me 2 digits because they're going by $100, but I'm going by $1, right? So you cross off. Let me make this a little bigger for those of you on devices. You cross off these last 2 zeros, so you get $1, and you could cross off the 5 0, and then it's just 1397. But since there's a 5 there, I always say, so 1397.5 dinars per dollar. Yay! We've been waiting for this. So let's see what happens. Well, I've been waiting for this. Let's see what happens in the morning. And tomorrow's just Wednesday. So we still have Wednesday and Thursday. It could go down even further, right? And how much further below that does it have to go before they just completely declare the parallel market over? Plus, remember, 3 months in a row now, they've had less dollar sales. The CBI is reporting less dollar sales. So all of that is good. They should have less dollar sales. This parallel market rate should continue to get closer to the CBI rate. And even look where it is. Well, where it was. I don't know where it is right now. Oh, shoot. It already went back to Oh, no. Okay. 1292. It's been better than that. It's been 1272, but normally about this time, it's 1308. Yes, this is Forex. Yes, the Iraqi dinar is on Forex, but it's restricted. Only certain people can trade it. But, I've been saying that for years, but nobody wants to listen to me. That's okay. I apologize. I have to stop saying that. Very few people listen to me. And those that do, I appreciate you. You're very supportive. Okay. All right. So let's go back. So I'm very happy to see that. And even this morning, it started off with the Iraqi government is discussing with Apple ways to activate Apple Pay services within the country. So, if Apple Pay is coming on, they got that digital thing down, right? Apple Pay has their own, don't they have their own system? Because I know, like, sometimes, can't afford to pay my phone bill, so the service gets shut off. But still, you can still text Apple to Apple because they have their own system, right? So I'm thinking there's no way Iraq has I said apparatus, but mechanism, the Apple mechanisms, apparatus, whatever. I don't know. But they're there talking about Apple Pay. And if this is the first time we're seeing this, I doubt it's the first time they've actually been there, right? So I thought that was pretty cool. The meeting comes as part of the Iraqi government's efforts under the direct guidance of Sadani, to strengthen the infrastructure for electronic payment services and expand the use of modern technologies in support of financial inclusion and digital transformation programs. Plus, I bet you the rich people, they probably have Apple phones. So they're going to try to force them to get on that too. So here, so you can read this. Then there's another one. To promote electronic payments, a government meeting was held to activate Apple Pay in Iraq. So see, if they're already talking about activating, they've already proved it, they've already implemented. Now they need to activate it. So I don't know. It's tricky with them, with Iraq. It's hard to know how to interpret things that are said, but I believe it will be soon. I didn't see a time in here, and then from once it gets into Iraq, it will go to the Middle East, India, Africa. If it's not already, I'm sure it's already on the continent of Africa. It's got to be there somewhere. But that's the thing about Iraq's beautiful geolocation. It's a gateway, right, to other countries. That's why everybody wants to get in on this, man, right? Okay, so now lots about the oil. Now, I'm going to remind you, maybe 2 months ago? I don't know, I lose track of time. But remember when Son Barzani came here to America and he signed 2 huge 10-year, $10 billion deals, energy deals. And then Baghdad was like, you can't do that without us. Federal case. Remember that? Well, HKN was one of those companies. So now here, HKN is in Baghdad doing what? Signing an agreement. Yeah. So they were like, no, no, no. If you're going to be in Kurdistan, you got to be in Baghdad too. So, yeah, very interesting, right? See, games that are played and power moves that are made. So, and I think they already were there. This will just be an expansion. But see, the signing ceremony was attended. So that's a done deal. They signed. We are pleased to be attending the signing ceremony today at the Iraqi Ministry of Oil. We are also pleased that an American company is investing in Iraq, and we would like to see more business with Iraq. So, see this North Oil Company? So, remember the other day when they were talking about the oil and gas law and the Northern Oil Company law? And I said, I think maybe that is important. Yeah, I guess it is important. So, all right. Here's Mohammed Saleh. He is writing a book. He's been in government, civil service, I believe, for 50 years. So I'm thinking he's ready to retire. But I didn't post an article because, it has nothing to do with the RV. So he said on Tuesday that legislation and industrial policy are the most important pillars of reviving industry in Iraq, stressing that foreign investment is a priority in revitalizing the local market. But yes, they need those laws, those 130, 120 laws that are sitting there waiting to be moved to the final stages. They need those done. They need the rate change. Then they'll be able to revitalize more than their local market, right? So if you want to read that, you can. It pretty much says the same thing. It talks about they'll be able to improve the power systems, um, industrial financing funds with low interest rates, all kinds of stuff. Just really good article. Nothing bad there at all. So here, the Prime Minister, Sadani, remember I was like, where's Sadani? Everybody keeps meeting with Fouad Hussein. They should be meeting with Sadani. Well, I think they heard me, right? Because there he is. Unless this is I mean, I don't think this is an older photo, but even if it is, they're saying the Prime Minister welcomes the work of American companies in Iraq, especially in the oil sector. So it says Sadani welcomed the work of American companies in Iraq, particularly in the oil sector, on Tuesday. Yeah. So then it lists who's there, who all was at the meeting, the aim of arriving at promising development formulas for optimal investment. Yeah, if you're going to invest, you want optimal investment, right? So yeah, so you could read that if you'd like. Then um, there were two oil fields that were targeted with flying kablooies. Let me see. Scones, cones, phones. Can you guess the word I'm not saying? It rhymes with those three words, right? But it has a doctor in front of it. How about that? How about that? All right. So, one guy spoke out. He thinks it's militias. Just, trying to put a monkey wrench in things. Sudani's been pretty calm, and he's just saying he's going to open an investigation into who's doing it. No one's taking claim. Like the H people, the Uchis, they did 2 attacks. Oops. Oh well. On Ice Cream Land, and they're bragging about it. I didn't see it on the TV, that I watch, but it's in the news. There's articles and it's in the news. So, yeah. But yeah, so they're not really sure who's doing this. And even that's one of the things that Miles B. Kagan's the third, I think he addressed it. It's either in the article or in the interview they addressed it. So here's the other news that was, I want to say good news, but we're still here waiting. There's still nothing final. But this is a big step, okay? So I'll tell you. A high-level Kurdish delegation headed by Pavel, who sometimes goes by Babel, Babel, Talabani. He arrived in Baghdad to resolve the salaries and oil issues. So, of course, it's an informed source. And actually, I wouldn't want to give my name either. The Kurds, they still take people out. But so they met with relevant parties to resolve some of the thorny issues between the two sides. And then they go on to list the issues, but I'll show you a picture of him. He's a younger guy. That's him there. And he was a soldier. So there's maybe 3 or 4 years ago, he shared whatever his position is right now. He shared it with someone who dressed in business suits. So if you would see him, he'd be like in fatigues or, soldier clothes. And then they'd have the business guy. Well, something happened to the business guy. I don't know what happened to him. But now the Talibani guy, he does it all by himself. So there they are talking. Look how pretty those flowers are. They're just so vibrant and put together so well. Anyway, just had to point that out. All right. So yeah, so there's another same thing. They need to get results to truly reflect the aspirations of the Iraqi people through their selection of representatives in the House of Representatives. And that, I believe, they're talking about the Kurdish, because the Kurds still don't even have their government together. And I'm pretty sure it's because one of the ruling parties did not get voted back in. So they were like, oh, no, no, no. We are going to dissolve this government and possibly have new elections, right? Because surely you didn't mean to keep the Talibanis out of government. You didn't mean that, right? So yeah, ever since then, they still don't have a government made. All right, so here, PUK leader. So I guess I guess he's the PUK leader. This is Fouad Hussein, and that is a really bad picture of Sadani. He is not that pale. Matter of fact, he kind of looks like Eddie Munster right there, doesn't he? Anyway, sorry. Okay. Despite ongoing tensions, efforts have not yet reached a deadlock and continue, emphasizing that the high-level meeting aims to address the unresolved issue of public employee salaries in the region. So there, you can read that. And here's my one commercial. If you'd like to support me, besides the free thumbs up, this Buy Me a Coffee will be a live link when this blog goes live. Cash App is always live. And also PayPal, which is the same Tishwash, $, T as in Tom, I, S as in Sam, H, W, A, S, H, big or small. I appreciate it all. All right, so they put out Wednesday's agenda. They're going to try again to have another parliament meeting, and there's 8 things. I think there's 8 items on here. None of them have anything to do with what we focus on. 5, 6 things. 6 things. So here's the formal agenda notice, and then I was able to translate it if you want to read that. Let's see. Here, so they had the Council of Ministers meeting. Nothing, there's no mention of budget schedules or a final report from that committee. I forget the name of the committee, but they did make a lot of decisions. Something with the energy, they increased financial powers of Iraqi drilling company so they could do more energy projects. And then all the other stuff is stuff I really don't. Here's another energy thing, and I think there's one more. But nothing that we wanted. So we'll keep waiting. Now listen to this, a political source. Sometimes we have just a source, sometimes we have an informed source. This time we have a political source. A final agreement to end the Kurdistan region employee salary crisis will be announced within hours. Yeah, right. Because tomorrow there's a meeting. Wednesday night there's a meeting with these people. A meeting of the state administration is scheduled for Wednesday evening to resolve 4 outstanding issues. The PKK, the presence of them. But look, it has a mix of Shiite, Sunni, and Kurds. So it is pretty important. If they want things to go smoothly, those 3 groups, dare I say, have to get along. But yeah, so we'll see. We shall see what we shall see. So they'll talk about settling the salaries of the region's employees in official banks, resuming oil exports in accordance with approved regulations, and adopting a unified position on the Turkish presence and the issue of the Kurdistan Workers' Party's pew-pews. So they did the first installment, I guess you could say, of turning in their pew-pews. There's 2 other phases if they do them. And this is a good article. If you have time, you should read it. Iraq is quietly distancing itself from Iran. How is Baghdad building a balanced foreign policy? They're sacrificing some stuff. And they're doing some stuff with Syria. So it is interesting. We're definitely living in interesting times if you're watching. Why should the West listen? Yeah. Okay, this is the guy. This is the guy that I said he thinks it's the militias bringing the scum, foam, cones to the oil fields. Yeah, so I'm not sure who he is. It just says the head of the Sovereignty Alliance. So people have come out and condemned, what they're doing. But yeah, I think so much time has gone by and they do the same things that the important people that need to know probably know. Okay, these are the pests over here that are trying to cause trouble, but they need to know exactly who, right? And I don't know how they're going to do that. All right, so now you guys know I don't care about this TIR thing, but there is the last 4 sentences of this article is very interesting. So the TIR, that's one of those custom programs, right? Agreement activates Iraq's transit economy. So if you go down, I bolded, and really you do kind of have to see. I kind of have a background because I've been following this, so I can scan through, right? But the guy, he added, Iraq can capitalize on its geographical location as a global corridor for goods, especially since the Development Road Project, which links the port of Fa to the Turkish border, relies on this agreement as the nucleus for actual implementation, which they keep telling us the dang thing's been implemented, right? But anyway, Iraq's ascension to the TIR, a practical path, begins to transform the country from a rentier, oil-based economy to a diversified economy based on logistics, transportation, and services. And who keeps telling them they need other income resources besides oil? Yes, the IMF and the World Bank too, but most recently the IMF. This step comes as part of a broader vision adopted by the government, which seeks to make Iraq a regional transit hub and a key partner. You see that? Key partner in global trade. So, yeah. So, if you want to read the rest of the article, you can, but I feel those are the best parts. And a lot of times with Iraq's articles, they work that way. So yeah, just give you a hint. A lot of times if you go right to the end of the article and then you work your way up, it may make more sense. All right, so here's that last article that I was talking about. It's the Aricur guy, and I think you should give it a listen. It is kind of weird that we don't get to hear the questions, but you hear his answers. And then, you could read, here's what they have in writing. He says, we want the perpetrators to be caught. And as the government of Iraq has said, we want them to be punished swiftly and severely. Boy, the things I can think of for swift and severe punishment. Anyway, all right. So yeah, check that out. Okay, so then there's some things I don't have posted here. Let me see. Some more time frames pointing to the end of summer. Let's see. I'm just looking. But no, I thought it was here, but maybe it's too far down. So much news has come out. So, the original conflict over there in the European area, they were given 50 days. 50 days to work it out or whatever. So that puts us end of August, right? No. Yeah, end of August. And then also the neighbor, Iraq's neighbor, was given 20 days to give what they want to come back to talks. So I'm just saying, I know you guys don't like when I say it, but going by the articles, they're stalling, pushing out time, which will get us closer to September, October. So enjoy your summer, relax, have fun. All right. So I'm going to end it here. And those stories that I just said, you can look that up in regular news and find it. I just happened to see it in Iraq's news. So I'm looking for even better. We still haven't heard anything from Aaliyah Locke and the CBI. So I don't know where he is, what he's doing. The demonstrators did go, the people that are demonstrating in Kurdistan, they did try to go out again, but they were met with heavy security force, and they were told, sorry, you don't have the proper permit. But when nighttime came, when it got dark, they were like, yeah, we got a permit now. See these burnt tires here? See these sticks and these rocks? Yeah, we got our permit now. So, I haven't heard, I haven't heard of any uh, bodily damage, which is good. I don't want to hear of it either. But that was the nighttime, so we'll see if there's any. I'll be looking for any reports in the morning. All right, so yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. I want this parallel market rate to keep getting closer to the CBI rate. I want to hear from the CBI, see what they're doing. And it'd be nice to get an answer from that committee that they put together about the oil. All right, so thank you for watching, listening. Again, I appreciate the thumbs up. It helps move the video up to get more watches, more views, whatever. And you guys leave great comments. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any emails and pay all your bills. Yeah. Join, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, because I don't post regularly. And if technology works like it's supposed to, when I do update, you'll be notified. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until next time, which will probably be tomorrow.